What's up, everyone? Justin here, sadly, back to do another tribute show for the fallen legends of professional wrestling. This guy is a legend, absolute legend, a hardcore legend, a innovator, homicidal, suicidal, genocidal. He was death defying. He was high flying. He was one of the first wrestlers to use a table and put his opponents through tables, put himself through tables. He legit looked nuts when I first saw him. I didn't see him until about 1998. I saw him for the first time, but he was wrestling way before 98. And of course, I'm a student of the game. I love history. I've gone back and watched a lot of his early matches from FMW to his ECW debut in October 1993. What am I talking about? Sadly, you should know who I'm talking about. I spelled it out for you just about by saying homicidal, suicidal, genocidal. He was one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. He was damn exciting. You didn't know what he was going to do next. He was like a human highlight reel. He was awesome. He was innovative. He was ahead of his time. He was so fucking good. Rest in peace, Sabu. Sabu sadly has passed away at 60 years old. Way too young to go. Way too young. God. And the weirdest thing is, this is really weird, eerie. Last night, I didn't know he passed away. I guess he passed away on Saturday night. It's Sunday now. Sunday night. But yeah, he passed away during Backlash. And I didn't hear the news till about Sunday afternoon sometime. But yeah, the weirdest thing about it, it's kind of creepy. Last night, Saturday night on YouTube, I was watching Sabu videos. I had no idea he was gone. No clue he passed away Saturday. I didn't know. I just find that very creepy. I was watching Sabu stuff right before I went to bed, and then I find out Sunday he passed away. I just watched Sabu in his final match on YouTube. Sabu, Joey Janela was in a barbed wire match at WrestleMania 41 weekend, GCW and Joey Janela's spring break. I don't give a damn about Joey Janela, but he is Sabu's final opponent. I'm not a fan of Joey Janela, but I was a fan of Sabu. So that's why I watched his barbed wire match. I wanted to see how he did. Yeah, he moved a lot slower, but he did his part. And a really scary spot in the barbed wire match. And this was just 3 weeks ago. Fucking 3 weeks ago, Sabu wrestled in a barbed wire match, and now he's gone. This was a scary spot. He was thrown through the barbed wire ropes, and he crashed to the hard floor, and he looked like he might have banged his head on the floor. That was scary, that spot. Hope he didn't get a concussion or something. But yeah, I decided to watch Sabu stuff and his final match. And then I wake up and find out he's gone. Tragic. Sad as hell. Very sad. I was a Sabu fan. I thought he was awesome. Again, he's innovative. There was nothing like him before or since. Nothing. The wrestling world has come out A lot of articles about Sabu's passing, mainstream news. USA Today. USA Today on Twitter posted former ECW champion and wrestling legend Sabu dead at 60 weeks. Yeah, weeks after his retirement matchup. But then he explained in another interview, Sabu, I believe, said that was not his final match. He wanted to do another one, I guess. A lot of wrestling accounts. A lot of wrestling dirt sheets posted about Sabu's passing on Twitter. A ton of them. Facebook accounts have posted about Sabu's passing. Fox 2, I don't know where that is, but Fox 2 posted about it. And just a ton of wrestling sites. ESPN.com posted about it. New York Post posted about it. Yahoo Sports, Yahoo, Men's Journal, Fightful, PW Insider was the first to report it. Sadly, that Sabu passed away. I feel bad. I really feel bad. My thoughts go out to his friends and his family. I don't know if he ever had children. I don't know if Sabu ever had children. I know he's with or dating or with his valet a few years ago, and sadly she passed away. I don't remember her name, but she had like a genie gimmick, and she was Sabu's manager and maybe his girlfriend or fiance. I don't know. But yeah, Sabu was nuts. When I saw him as a fan, I thought he was legit nuts. I thought he was like a cannibal. I thought he was nuts. He was stabbing guys with a spike. I legit was afraid of him. I thought he looked awesome, and I loved his style, his wrestling style, but I thought he was nuts. And my God, did he sacrifice his body to the extreme. No pun intended. He sacrificed himself to the extreme. Always. For no reason. I guess for his gimmick. He was doing backflips, putting himself through tables, and just crashing through tables, putting himself through tables. It was insane. And I didn't even think, because of Sabu's gimmick, I thought he wasn't even American, but he is. He was. He was born in Michigan. Of course, his uncle. His uncle was the original Sheik. So he had the business in his blood. His uncle is the original Sheik. He was born in, actually he was born in New York. I didn't know that. Sabu was actually born in Staten Island, New York on December 12th, 1964. Man, he just had his 60th birthday in December. Now he's gone. And again, my thoughts go out. I'm not going to say my prayers because I don't pray. But my thoughts go out to his friends and his family and his ton of his fans. I'm one of them. I am definitely one of his fans. I loved him in the original ECW. As you can tell, I was a big original ECW fan. And my thoughts just go out to his friends, his co-workers, his fans, his fellow wrestlers that knew him best and worked with him. My thoughts really go out to this guy. Rob Van Dam. I hope he's doing okay. RVD, my thoughts are with you, RVD. Sabu helped train you, and Sabu was RVD's mentor. So I'm really thinking about Rob Van Dam. Also, another guy was in the main event with Sabu. Had a great feud, underrated feud. Carried ECW, carried the first pay-per-view, barely legal. Taz and Sabu in the main event. It was not the final match of barely legal, but it was a main event. And just, I feel really sad for Rob Van Dam. I hope he's doing okay. I feel bad for Fonzie. Bill Alfonso was close to him. RVD definitely, and Bill Alfonso were probably Sabu's best friends. Again, I don't believe he had children. And I don't believe he had a wife either. He did have a spouse. He was married, but he got divorced. He married a Japanese woman, I think, in 1997, but he got divorced. He doesn't have any children. According to the internet, Sabu has no children. But yeah, let me just share some of this. Again, I had to pay my respects and do a tribute show to Sabu. He deserves it. He was that good. I was a big fan of him. Some Sabu merchandise I have is ECW original action figure. Came out in 99 or 2000. I think I got in about 99. Just when they got the deal on TNN is when these figures came out. Don't want to drop this tablet. So yeah, prized possession of mine in my wrestling collection of action figures. Here's a WWE Sabu. There's a WWE Sabu. There's a ECW Sabu. He could have even had a WCW Sabu figure, but he wasn't there long enough. But they could have made one of them. I'm sure he had other figures, probably in Japan. Here's another good shoot interview. Great DVD of mine, Sabu shoot interview. He's done a few more on the internet, on YouTube. Look him up. You can find him. Sabu talked to wrestling shoot interviews. Our YouTube channel, Wrestling Shoot Interviews, WSI. Sabu did a shoot with him, the guy James, about a year ago, I think. And I watched a lot of it. I never thought ever I'd see Sabu break character and do shoot interviews, but he did. He broke down and did them. Maybe needed the money. I don't know. It's none of my business. But I never thought I'd see Sabu break character and talk about the business behind the scenes and expose it or talk about his career. He did. Also, I never thought I'd see Undertaker do that either. And Undertaker has also talked in a lot of interviews about being the Undertaker. So yeah, he was trained by the original Sheik. He began training, and Sabu debuted in 1985. That's a long time. Think about that. That is 8 years. 8 years before ECW brought him in. And Paul Heyman really wanted Sabu. He really wanted to push him. I don't blame him. Sabu had a great look. He was in Japan, FMW, killing it. And yeah, Sabu was happy to leave FMW because he was tearing his body apart in barbed wire matches night after night. So Sabu was happy to join ECW. And Taz put out a nice tribute earlier today for like 2 minutes. Taz talked about Sabu. He was sad about it. And Taz said his debut was in ECW against Sabu. It was both of their debut matches. And Taz said, I was only supposed to be there one night. Put over Sabu. Sabu was gonna destroy me and treat me like a jobber, as he should have. But then Taz said, no, Sabu let me do a lot of stuff to him and let me get over a lot. So that was cool of Sabu, because he didn't think Taz was going to stay around, but he did, and my God, they became great rivals. They had a great feud. They didn't touch for 2 years. They didn't wrestle and touch each other for 2 years. From 95 to 97, barely legal. Then after barely legal, they had a great match, by the way. It was great. Taz and Sabu at Barely Legal was really good. Go back, watch it on Peacock if you haven't seen it. But then in the summer, then another matchup. It was pretty damn good. Sabu and Taz at ECW WrestlePalooza 97. The same night, Taz won the TV title. He took on Sabu. And this whole next week, the week coming up, I'm going to watch a lot of Sabu stuff. I'm going to dig deep and binge on Sabu matches. Sabu definitely had some of my favorite matches and memories from ECW involved Sabu. The night the line was crossed, February 1994. The first ever 3-way dance that went 60 minutes. It was so good. Yeah, that's a favorite match of mine. Favorite ECW memory. Sabu versus Shane Douglas versus Terry Funk. The first ever 3-way match in the United States, in my opinion. The first ever, basically, that I know of, first ever triple threat match was in ECW, Sabu, Shane Douglas, Terry Funk. And it was so good. They went an hour. But Sabu left part of the match, and Terry Funk left. But they both came back. Shane Douglas was only one that was there the whole hour. But that was so good. The night the line was crossed, 1994, the first ever 3-way dance. And then another favorite match of mine, Sabu, Terry Funk, barbed wire match. 1997, Born to Be Wired. It was violent. It was brutal to watch, but man, it was good. I loved it. That was good hardcore wrestling. But fucking deathmatch crap with light tubes, that is not good hardcore wrestling. And Sabu is good, man. His hardcore matches, he treated them legit. He didn't get bashed in the head with stupid light tubes. He never used light tubes. And Sabu Terry Funk was so good in that barbed wire match. It was so good. I got that match burned in my brain. I haven't watched it in like 2 to 3 years, but it was so good. I gotta watch it this year again, soon. Another favorite match is Sabu, Rob Van Dam, and ECW. They had so many good matches. They had a stretcher match. They had a pay-per-view match at WrestlePalooza 98. They had another pay-per-view match at Guilty as Charged 2000. RVD, Sabu had great chemistry. always, and they put on bangers. They put on 5-star matches, always. I don't have a clue how Sabu passed away. I don't. But I kind of want to find out. I don't know if he passed away in his sleep or what. Hope it wasn't like an accidental, tragic death. I hope not. I hope it wasn't a car accident or something like that. So again, the Sheik trained Sabu. He's on the Independence in 1985 under the name Sabu. Then he went to Japan and wrestled for FMW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. He won several titles, including the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. He returned to the United States, and he did have a WWF tryout. A long time ago on the WWE Network, they put out a hidden gem of Sabu having a dark match tryout. I think it was Sabu against Taz. They had a WWF tryout in '93, but Vince probably didn't like how Sabu looked. He had scars on his body from wrestling in Japan. But so Vince did not hire him. But in '95 he came back and WCW hired him to come in for a short time or a few shows. He was on early Nitros and he was on Halloween Havoc '95, and that was about it. I guess he left WCW to go back to ECW. And some claim he held up Paul Heyman for more money. But I doubt it. I think Heyman probably owed him money. That's why he left ECW. The fans, Paul Heyman got the fans to turn on Sabu. I think they're chanting "fuck Sabu" at one point. And Taz was going off on Sabu for leaving and not coming back. But Sabu came back, he returned, he got a huge pop, and he was loved again. And Paul Heyman probably just had to pay him what he owed him to get him to stay. Because to me, Sabu was loyal, very loyal to ECW. I don't even know if he got paid every show, but he's loyal until he got fed up, probably. After guilty is charged 2000, sadly, Sabu left and jumped ship to XPW for a short time. I don't know how long he was in XPW, but not very long. He was, I think, the first ever XPW or second ever world champion. Not that the XPW world title meant shit. It never meant anything. But Sabu was XPW world champion in 2000. And my God, Sabu wrestled everywhere. Everywhere in the 90s. He wrestled everywhere you can imagine. All Japan, New Japan, ECW, WCW. Later on, WWE in 2006, he was hired for the ECW's WWE brand. Which he didn't last long, sadly. But he had classics. He had a classic with Rey Mysterio on One Night Stand 2006. That was so good. That was a great memory of Sabu getting to wrestle Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight title on a WWE pay-per-view. That was awesome. I remember that well. Even, my God, he wrestled, before he's in Japan, he wrestled for the USWA in 1991. He made a few appearances. And he feuded with Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller. Then he appeared in WWF. He had a tryout. Dark match. He did not take on Taz. I take it back. He took on Scott Taylor of Too Cool. in a dark match before Monday Night Raw, October 18th, 93. And then he had another dark match. He lost to Owen Hart. I would have loved to see that match on television. Owen Hart, Sabu, that would have been awesome. Then he wrestled on a dark match on a Wrestling Challenge taping in 93 and a Superstars of Wrestling taping. But they were all dark matches. Then he went to FMW 91 to 94. I think he got tired of the death match, barbed wire, fire matches, so that's probably why he wanted to go to ECW. As I said, Sabu debuted October 93 against a guy that had become his greatest feud and rival, Taz. Sabu's early gimmick, he refused to speak. He would not talk in interviews. Bill Alfonso talked for him, and Paul Heyman managed him in early ECW. Paul Heyman was his manager, and 911 was also with them. So finally, Sabu did a shoot interview and did finally talk, but Sabu was billed from Bombay, Michigan. Again, he was not from Saudi Arabia. He's American. I don't know if he felt like his home was New York or Michigan. I'm not sure, because he's born in New York. So Sabu did talk in a shoot interview here and other shoot interviews on YouTube, and he talked in the Forever Hardcore documentary that he said Paul Heyman did not bring him into ECW. He said Todd Gordon brought him in. So Todd Gordon brought him in, I guess. And his early gimmick in ECW was pretty funny to me. He was like Hannibal Lecter. He had a Hannibal Lecter style mask on. And he was chained up to a board. So yeah, Sabu, in my opinion, his best run of his career, most memorable matches, best feuds and matches were in ECW, in my opinion. I didn't see much of his FMW stuff. I didn't see much of it at all, but I think his ECW stuff was better. Then he worked in New Japan a little bit in 95. He went to WCW, wrestled on Nitro, on the debut Nitro. He made his Nitro debut September 11th, 95 against Alex Wright. And he put Alex Wright through a table, and the referee reversed the decision. Gave the win to Alex Wright. His last match in WCW was against Disco Inferno, and Sabu won. Then in 96 and 97, he was still going to Japan. He went to Big Japan and All Japan Pro Wrestling. Returned to ECW in 95 to 2000. He returned at November to Remember 95, defeated Hack Myers. He also had a great rivalry and great matches with Cactus Jack McFoley, Cactus Jack. He had great matches with him and Taz and Shane Douglas and RVD. And others, even Sandman. Sandman and Sabu had a great rivalry for a short time. They had a good match at a good hardcore ladder match at November to Remember 97. So let's skip ahead. After he left ECW, he worked for XPW, IWA Mid-South, Stampede Wrestling, Border City Wrestling. He won he won a tournament and became an XPW World Champion. He was only champion to defend the title outside of the United States. I don't know why. He would hold the title for a year, but it was taken away in May 2001. Sabu would later return to All Japan Pro Wrestling in 2000 and 2001. He took on Abdullah the Butcher and Giant Kamala. Then he wrestled a ton of places after ECW. He wrestled for WWA, which was on pay-per-view a few times. World Wrestling All-Stars. Sabu wrestled there on pay-per-view. He appeared at the Revolution pay-per-view in Las Vegas, February 2002. He faced Devin Storm in a hardcore match. I actually ordered that pay-per-view, WWA Revolution. So then he would wrestle on WWA's European tour. And then another pay-per-view, which was in Glasgow, Scotland. And then he wrestled Perry Saturn and Simon Diamond on pay-per-view in a three-way at a WWA pay-per-view. Then he went to TNA. He worked everywhere, just about. He showed up in TNA. He showed up on July 17th, 2002. He defeated Malice in a ladder match. Malice was formerly in WCW. He was The Wall. But he was in TNA as Malice. Then the next week, Sabu took on Ken Shamrock. That's weird booking in a ladder match where it was declared a no contest when Malice interfered in the ladder match. I have that pay-per-view on DVD somewhere. Sabu and Ken Shamrock in a ladder match. I also have Sabu and Malice on the TNA pay-per-view. I also have that on video somewhere. 2004, Sabu teamed with Raven. This is where Raven was feuding with the Gathering. CM Punk and Julio De Niro. Then Raven and Sabu then had a one-on-one match at a TNA pay-per-view in 2004, I believe. It was pretty good. But Raven defeated Sabu. They were scheduled to have a rematch in TNA, but it was canceled after Sabu suffered a serious back injury. While Sabu was injured, he got a virus and was hospitalized for 10 months. Someone put on a benefit show, a night of appreciation for Sabu. Glad he recovered from that. Then Sabu appeared at Hardcore Homecoming, wrestled Terry Funk and Shane Douglas in a three-way barbed wire match, which was not great because Terry and Shane were not in their prime anymore. Then 1 night later, 2 days later, he appeared at One Night Stand 2005. He defeated Rhino. Then he went back to TNA in 2005. He would challenge, or he was teamed with Raven to take on Jeff Jarrett and Rhino. Then he had a barbed wire match with Abyss. I remember that pay-per-view because I ordered it. Sabu Abyss Barbed Wire Massacre at Turning Point 2005. Sabu defeated Abyss. Then Sabu was not seen for several months on TNA, but he returned at Lockdown on 2006. He had a match against Samoa Joe for the X Division title. I don't remember that. Sabu had a broken forearm, and he still wrestled. He always wrestled injured. Sabu, one of the toughest, either craziest or one of the toughest fucking wrestlers ever. He's one of the toughest for me. He's in my top 5 toughest. He's up there with Mick Foley, Spike Dudley, and others. Sabu might be right behind Mick Foley as toughest. Mick Foley's the toughest because he fell off the cell and survived. But Sabu's probably number 2. He wrestled all the time with a broken jaw, wired jaw shut, broken bones all the time. And fucking barbed wire match with Terry Funk, he ripped open his bicep. He needed 100 stitches, but he didn't want to go to the hospital. So he got it crazy glued shut backstage and had Bill Alfonso bring him out tape, and he wrapped it up. Good God, if that isn't tough, I don't know what is. That's insanely tough. You have a torn, ripped open bicep and you keep wrestling. Sabu, one of the toughest of all time. Again, one of the most innovative. Also, he used the tables to perfection. And he loved to use a chair and throw a chair at you. So then, he was still in the independents. Sabu actually appeared. He got to appear at ECW's November to Remember, their biggest pay-per-view. Also, he appeared at one WrestleMania. He got to appear at a WrestleMania, actually. WrestleMania 23. ECW Originals against, what the hell were they called? The New Blood or something? And Sabu had a few good matches in the WWE, I thought. Rey Mysterio, John Cena at Vengeance. Him and Big Show was shit. I hated it because Sabu jobbed to Big Show. I hated that. I wanted Sabu to win. He took on Rob Van Dam in WWE's ECW. Cena, of course, had to defeat Sabu in their Extreme Lumberjack match at Vengeance. So then said the Sabu RVD were pulled over. Stupid cop found weed. I guess they were arrested. WWE fired them both later on. They were arrested and charged with drug paraphernalia and a few Vicodin tablets. Big deal. Sabu was fined $1,000 by WWE's wellness policy. He pled guilty. Charge of drug possession, drug paraphernalia was dropped. He was given 10 days in jail and $500 fine. Sabu then defeated Stevie Richards on a Saturday night's main event in an Extreme Rules match. So, yeah, he's had a hell of a career. Appeared in Japan, ECW, WCW, TNA, WWE at WrestleMania. At Saturday night's main event, he worked against John Cena also. He appeared at Survivor Series. Sabu teamed up with Cena, Bobby Lashley, RVD, and Kane to take on Team Big Show. So, let's see here. Then Sabu worked a little bit after WWE. He worked for AAA. He was at Triple Mania 15. Sabu came out during the main event, put La Parka through a table. Also, I remember Sabu worked for MLW too. He took on La Parka in 2003 in MLW. Those matches were really exciting to me. I wanted to see La Parka Sabu, and I got to see it in MLW. Then he worked for ICP's Juggalo Championship Wrestling for a few years. He returned to TNA in 2010. He was part of TNA's ECW reunion show. Then he went back to Independence. And he returned. He appeared also in AEW. He made an appearance in AEW. Which he never had a match, but he did appear in AEW. That was cool to see. He, let's see here. The Super Genie was his manager. She started being Sabu's valet. They dated. They had a partnership until June 23rd, 2001. She passed away, sadly. So then he returned to TNA again in 2019. I don't remember that. He returned, or this was like a one-shot deal. Pay-per-view, United We Stand. Sabu teamed with RVD to take on the Lucha Bros. I remember that match. I watched it. It was good. Final appearances. Sadly, he's done a shoot interview about a year ago, and he just appeared at GCW's spring break event in May 2023. 2 years ago, Sabu debuted in AEW on Dynamite. He would come out of retirement for a one-off, but he didn't wrestle. He was in the corner of Adam Cole for some reason against Jericho. So his AEW debut was disappointing, but I hope he got a good payday. April. This is 3 weeks ago, guys. 3 weeks ago only. April 18th, WrestleMania weekend, or right before it. Sabu wrestled his retirement match at GCW's Joey Janela's spring break, 3 weeks before his death. I'm not saying when he got thrown out of the ring, looked like he hit his head on the floor. I'm not saying that caused his death, but couldn't have been good for his brain. Another concussion and head injury. I don't know how he passed away. I don't. But 3 weeks ago, he fucking wrestled in a barbed wire match that I just watched last night. Like, seriously, I watched Sabu, and then the next day, I find out he passed away. Yeah. May 2025, I think it was Saturday. He passed away, or Sunday. Sabu died at the age of 60. Nobody's going to know the cause of death until they do an autopsy. But again, every company you can think of. Just about ever. He might have worked for the AWA in the 80s. I don't know. He could have. Because I haven't seen that much AWA from the late 80s. I didn't get to see all their shows. So he might have appeared there. I don't know. But he worked everywhere. Japan, WWF, ECW, WCW, back to ECW, back to Japan, then the XPW, which XPW sucked and was a ripoff of ECW, and it was not as good. Not even fucking close to as good. But I'm done. My ranting about XPW's done. Check out my WTF playlist where I ranted about XPW returning. Check out that show. I just uploaded it a few days ago. Part 2 where I talked about XPW's return. But yeah, nobody cares about XPW. And nobody's going to remember Sabu and XPW. But they will remember Sabu in ECW because he was great there. I also loved what he did in WWE with Rey Mysterio and John Cena. I think he even wrestled Kurt Angle, I think. At one point, maybe. I don't remember. But, yeah, I don't know the cause of death. Let's see if I did watch a Taz tribute video to Sabu. I wonder if any other wrestlers put out their thoughts about Sabu on social media. Let me look that up. And listen to, if you have Sirius XM, listen to Busted Open Radio on Monday, tomorrow. Busted Open's going to do a tribute to Sabu, I'm sure. Bubba Ray Dudley's a host. Tommy Dreamer will probably also be on to give his thoughts. Yeah. Sabu, you were an innovator. Absolute innovator. Someone, you did moves I've never seen before. You did stuff that just blew my mind. And I was like, how are you still walking? You just were such an innovator. And you brought a ton of joy to me as a ECW fan, and to watch you wrestle and have classics with RVD and Taz. It was a pleasure. Pleasure to watch. Here's some of his co-workers that knew him best. A lot of ECW originals gave their thoughts, and other wrestlers that knew him. ECW legend Francine, she's a great follow on Twitter. Francine took to Twitter and she made it clear she was heartbroken and stated she will always love Sabu, saying her heart is broken. Rest in peace, my friend Sabu. I love you always. That's sad to read. I'm sure Shane Douglas is also upset about it, and Taz, and Tommy Dreamer, and Sandman, and Bill Alfonso and RVD. Even Paul Heyman. Fucking Paul Heyman. You should put out a statement. You should put out a tweet about Sabu. You owe him that much. He killed himself for ECW. He probably wasn't paid well. You probably didn't pay him every damn time, Paul Heyman. You absolutely owe Sabu a debt for life, for building up your company and making it awesome and making ECW must watch just to see what Sabu is going to do. So Paul Heyman, you better put out a fucking tweet or a statement about Sabu's passing. You talked about New Jack's passing on an episode of Talking Smack, so Paul Heyman, use your phone. Put out a short promo. Talk about Sabu. Use your phone. Record yourself. Put out a video about what you thought of Sabu. Or you should really be thanking him for helping ECW. He's really helped ECW. He made ECW legit. Like, seeing a guy like Sabu, you didn't know as a fan. Is he, I think he's for real. He's beating the shit out of his opponents for real. He's nuts. You believed that Sabu is legit crazy in ECW. He made the fans believe in his gimmick. That's how good he was. Matt Cardona, he worked extensively with Sabu, I guess. He paid his respects to Sabu. He called him a true legend. Saying, rest in peace, Sabu, a true fucking legend. From Matt Cardona. RVD reacted. I didn't hear this yet. RVD said, he used Sabu's iconic hand gesture. So I guess RVD did that, pointing up to the sky. Ricochet sent out love also, but who gives a fuck about Ricochet? I don't. Ricochet will never be looked at as a legend when he's gone, in my opinion. Not like Sabu. So, yeah, a lot of wrestlers. C.W. Anderson shared, he's still wrestling, by the way, in MLW. C.W. Anderson shared his sadness. ECW original, C.W. Anderson. He said he lost another ECW brother. He said it was always an honor to share the ring with Sabu. Wished him rest in power. Very sad. AEW posted a tweet, sent their condolences about Sabu's passing. That was cool. Also, WWE put out a tweet talking about Sabu passed away. So, I don't see any other wrestling reactions as of now. Tommy Dreamer, I don't know if he posted anything on his Instagram, but yeah, we should hear from Tommy Dreamer, Bully Ray tomorrow on Busted Open about Sabu. And Sabu was not a nobody. He was not a jobber. He was a big fucking deal. He was a main eventer in ECW. He was innovative. He was revolutionary. He was awesome. And I'm sad about it. It's sad. 60 years old is too young. I guess AEW stars have shared their reactions to Sabu's passing. Let's see what this article says. Yeah, definitely was sudden. I did not expect Sabu would pass away at 60. This was a shocking death. I'm sure he partied in the 90s a lot, but still. He looked healthy to me in his last match. He definitely was a pioneer. He absolutely was a pioneer of high-flying moves, using tables, using chairs. He was a pioneer of that. He was a godfather of hardcore. He made hardcore wrestling cool. He really did. He made it cool. A part of ECW. He was so innovative. He was absolutely a pioneer. Of course, it's too early. Sabu's cause of death is not known. It's way too early. My final thought. Sabu, he held a ton of titles. I can't name them all. He held a whole bunch of titles. At one point, I don't know if he won PW Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I don't know if he won PWI awards, but he should have for matches of the year. And what's the word? Not scariest gimmick. I don't know, toughest wrestler award, if there is such a thing, but he had a hell of a gimmick. You didn't know if he is legit crazy or not. He absolutely destroyed his body for wrestling. He gave it every fucking thing he had every time he wrestled. He gave it his all for the fans. And, yeah. Former ECW World Champion. Former ECW Tag Team Champion. I believe he's a ECW TV champion too, but I'm not positive. Gosh. Sabu, you were an absolute fucking hardcore legend. Sabu absolutely is a Hall of Famer. Absolutely is a hardcore wrestling ECW original legend. A fucking pioneer. Absolute pioneer. Sabu, rest in peace. You will be missed.